everyone. Welcome to the Receive Podcast. This week brought to you by Blue Apron, Casper, and MeUndies. There they are. All right up there.
All of them.
I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
Blaine. I'm Burnie.
I'm Gus. Everyone came in hot today.
Blaine is hot. Why are you hot, Blaine?
I'd had meetings like every hour leading up to this meeting.
Why would that make you hot?
Well, because I was so busy. Like I was literally like walking out the door and was like, yeah, make a phone call to this person. All right, gotta go. Bye.
I was in 2 meetings today where literally I was standing up with my backpack on for the last 5 minutes. I'm like trying to get out the door. The meeting I had right before the podcast.
Yeah. I was that meeting too. Did you know?
No.
I was called in.
Yeah, why'd you call in?
Because I was at a meeting before that I couldn't make it to.
I like that we call into our own meetings because we're at meetings.
Yeah. There was another one. I had a location scout that I was late to another meeting.
I had one department here send me something via the postal service. They mailed me something. And I was like, why did you mail this to me? I literally work 100 feet away from you.
I'm going to take a bet.
You didn't have to bring it to me. You could have just messaged me, and I would have walked over and grabbed it.
Will you confirm or deny what department that was?
It's like, I can wait. Like it's still if I wait 2 days and get it, it's still faster than getting it through the mail.
Did it come from another place, or was it literally they took it from where they work and mailed it from there?
I don't know.
It wasn't like sent from a warehouse?
I don't know if they sent it. No, right. They had it. They made it in their office. And then they took it to the post office, I guess, or had the mailman pick it up, and then it was delivered to me at home.
It's just a big, confusing business now. I love it. What's going on?
Got to trim the fat. Got fat cats over here.
Speaking of mailing stuff, though, I'm dealing with a shipping problem that's I know is about to land on me because the podcast starts at 5:00, and I have my new iPhone is arriving.
Oh,
my house. It's on the truck right now.
Did you pre-sign?
Can Ash not get it?
She probably can if she's there, but I don't think she's there. I think she's here.
I just saw her like a minute ago.
She's not over there.
Can one of the kids?
So I'm like checking. I'm like checking all the time to see if it's. And I wonder, do you think my current iPhone, gets upset every time I check to see like if a new one is coming?
It knows its death is incoming.
It's a robot.
No, how dare you? First of all,
but you said you were switching. So why'd you get the new iPhone?
Switching to what? Nobody can switch with me. That's why.
No, I know. We just didn't go through with it.
Yeah.
Does anybody have that stupid bug where you type the letter I, then it says like A and question mark in a block?
No.
Have you all not seen that?
Like I don't have the new phone. So.
No, it's like in iOS 11.
Oh,
iOS 11 is great. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's fine for me.
How do you like the OS in the new Xbox that you got?
Oh, I talked about it. I like it. It's way better.
Oh, it's way better.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, so I want to clear up a misconception because we talked about this and people have been trying to correct me.
Oh.
The way I use my Xbox is when I boot it up, it immediately goes to TV mode because I run my TV through it.
Why'd you do that?
Just because I thought at the time when I got my Xbox initially that it would have a lot more robust like cable features.
You're a corporate shill.
I don't use any of that stuff. It's all garbage, especially now that the Kinect's gone.
So you can still use a Kinect.
You can still, but I unplugged it.
Let him tell the story.
So I hit the Jewel and I bring up my guide, it's not the full guide. It's just that little like sliver on the side.
The little schmear on the side.
Right. So I only see a couple of pins there. It's not as many pins as I used to see when I would just hit the. So that's what I was complaining about. And I followed up with you. I sent you a text message with what I was talking about, but I never followed up.
I was confused at the time, but I'm no longer.
Mm-hmm. I get a lot of people correcting me online. It's like, I understand that there are just as many pins if you go to the pin section. What I'm saying is it's not as easily accessible.
I didn't like the new OS for the dumbest reason is the first thing it showed me was something I don't like. So now that turned me off to the whole OS in general.
Was it a picture of Gus?
No, that would be very personalized. No, listen, I believe that people should be allowed to enjoy whatever they enjoy. If people like something, they have a good time with that thing, other people should not make fun of them for enjoying this thing. The one exception I have to this is the game Cuphead. People who play Cuphead are fucking lunatics.
Why?
I don't know why you would subject yourself to playing a game like that. I've watched Teddy play it. I've watched Ashley play it. It's a living digital nightmare.
What's wrong with it?
Have you played it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, you're a terrible person. It's awful.
Why?
It's because it's. I don't know why you would subject yourself to a game that's basically impossible to play.
Why is it any more difficult or impossible than PUBG?
PUBG's a great game.
It's impossible to win.
Played by normal people all over the world.
What's the success rate?
It takes a lot longer to win a PUBG game than
what happens more often, a chicken dinner or you beat a Cuphead level?
I've never played a Cuphead level. I played 2 seconds of Cuphead, immediately put it down, and got the fuck away from it.
Just watching other people play it.
It's horrible. It's like here's the experience of watching Cuphead. You're like, oh, it turns out, it's cool. I like this aesthetic. Wow, that enemy's firing a lot of bullets. and it's not stopping, and you've been shooting this enemy for about the last 30 minutes. It's everything I can't fucking stand about a game. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you like Super Meat Boy?
Yeah, I like Super Meat Boy.
Oh, see, this is it. We're done. Professionally,
I never
you
finished
and
Super Meat Boy, though.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking impossible.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's impossible.
You don't like being challenged. You like things easily handed to you.
Listen, I do. I just finished Breath of the Wild, like literally this weekend. I just finished that. Teddy helped me beat Ganon.
I don't like that when you beat him, it just goes back to before you beat him after.
Yeah, it puts a little star by your save file.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they don't want you to have one of the weapons that you get right at the end.
Well, they could just make that disappear.
I
and say
guess
it was
so.
like a temp weapon.
Or just give it to you.
But then
the game's over.
Yeah, thematically, if Ganon's gone, then like would all the evil be gone too?
It just makes me feel lazy. Like I'm just sat on my ass while a big thing engulfs the castle. It's
And
like,
you're just wandering around doing shit.
I want to fix it. I want to like hang out in the castle. and
You're cooking,
stuff. Yeah.
riding a horse.
What are you doing? What's left for you to do?
I haven't really touched any of the DLCs.
What's the one you said that shows all your footsteps?
Hero's Path.
And that's just all it does?
Yeah. Well, no,
Really?
that's just one feature of many features in DLC, but it's awesome. It tracks it all the way back to when you first started playing, even before that DLC.
Wait, so it knows the entire time.
I think the last 100 hours you've played.
I think the last 200, and
Oh, was
I'd
it
only
200?
played like 70, so it was all in. But basically, the moment you start the game, it puts a line on the map is where you
Is it
went.
like
so
a
it's
heat
like,
map?
It's just like a line. But yeah, it's like, so for me,
Wow.
It starts-
What a great feature.
I think it's great.
It's a really great feature.
But for me, it starts with like a little point, and it's like dead, and it's just me dying. You can track what.
I died so much at the beginning of that
I died a
game.
lot. And then
It was very frustrating.
And then you can see the moment where you get the paraglider, because then you start moving a lot quicker, and then warping to places.
Is that also
I like
a line?
It. Yeah,
It's a heat map.
line. I just like stats like that, Blaine. I like if I put 70 hours into something, I like that it tracked it.
Over the weekend, I tweeted an image of I had enabled stats on my mouse, and I tracked all the mouse clicks for the past 20 hours of me playing PUBG. And I posted an image, and you can see like it's very little clicking in the middle. It's a lot of inventory management and rage quitting, but very little actual firing.
Do you rage quit a lot?
Yeah.
Wait,
You
is that
really?
at the top right? Is the
Yeah.
exit?
It's like exit.
Fuck.
Hey, so how can you not understand how people would be interested in stats related to something? Because every time you put even a scrap of food in your mouth, you've got your phone out and you're tracking it on your little macros app that you have or whatever you're doing.
More. I've been a fat ass lately. I've just been eating like shit.
I
Did
was
you see
gonna-
me scarf down like a whole bag of fries and a chicken sandwich?
I was going to talk to you. Yeah, you're really letting yourself go.
feel like it.
We're all worried. We're all really worried.
How do you track that, Blaine? Like, if you what's your ideal weight?
My ideal weight?
Yeah, like everyone has like a thing they want to weigh like this amount. Like,
It's like mine's like lives in the realm of 175-ish.
Oh, I thought you were much bigger than that.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Trying to get Blaine a
I
complex.
watched his eyes start twitching.
So, like, if you creep up to like 185, do you get worried? If you creep down, because you're probably in the level of fitness where going down it can be a bad thing.
Yeah, because I'm losing muscle.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I pretty much maintain. And if I lose if I lose muscle, then I feel like I gain it back with fat. So it's always just kind of like hard to tell where I'm at.
It's an equilibrium.
Yeah.
It just shifts.
Speaking of Cuphead, sorry, I know this is a little late into the story, but
If you're just joining us, Cuphead's a shitty game.
it is.
It is not.
Really fucking terrible.
Alana and I were playing it at her apartment. We were so
What a
just
nightmare date.
fixed in on the game. She went
Co-op?
and I no, like we would I'd play, I'd die, give it to her, she'd play, she'd die, give it to me.
Why don't you just both play?
Because is it co-op?
Yeah. Cuphead and Mugman.
I think she was having something with her controller. So we're just doing it that way. She goes and makes some tea.
But that's the lie you tell your little brother.
Controller's broken.
The second controller
on the wrong
busted.
channel.
So she goes and she makes some tea, and we're sitting on her bed, and I'm sitting at the end of it, and then I suddenly hear screaming, just bloody murder screaming, and I look back, and in the process of watching the screen, watching me play Cuphead, she dropped her boiling hot tea right on her leg, right on her ass, and it just like scorched her leg.
Jesus.
Still a better experience than playing Cuphead. Still better.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad.
Did you have to go to the
date night.
doctor or anything, or was it just like?
No, we
Okay.
like immediately. We went. She was in the bathtub, and we turned on cold water, and then I just sat there with a solo cup, just pouring cold water on her wounds.
Aw, that's quite
and
sweet.
just kind of comforting her. She was like a whimpering puppy. It was the saddest.
I thought you were going to say you sat there playing Cuphead in the mirror so you could see it all the way there.
It was very unfortunate. But
Are,
yeah,
are you supposed to put cold water on a burn? I always thought you weren't supposed to put cold water on a
I
burn.
thought you were for like 10 minutes.
No.
yeah, we Googled it real quick, and I don't think ice is the way to go, but I think cold water is the way to soothe it.
Okay.
So we were just like, yeah, loading that thing up with cold water. It was a very unfortunate night. Yeah.
That sucks.
It does. I feel like all my stories kind of just like shit off at the end.
Well, why don't you
and then
say
it goes silent?
Why don't you just say something like that happened after that was good?
Because I'm bad at improv.
Well, I mean, you have to make it up.
I have other stories that are not related, but that's why I'm known for my non sequiturs. Is because I'm like,
Is that what you're known for?
I'll pull over.
When I think of Blaine, I think of non
That's how I
sequiturs.
describe him. Is Blaine the non sequitur
I'm
guy?
just random. I'm kind of a little finicky sometimes.
Trying to find my glasses. I can't find.
So
them.
I did the thing that you did, Bernie,
Yeah, what'd you do?
where I didn't switch and I just got the new phone.
You didn't. Oh yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Did
But-
you transfer your old stuff, or did you
I
start
did.
as a new phone?
I do that every time because Apple. So here's what happens, and here's why I don't like Apple, and they're terrible. Aside from, like,
You just spent
secretly-
$1,000 on
I
your
know
phone.
it's vomit inducing. I hate myself. I hate myself.
Go get a fucking Galaxy. and be
I
done with it.
know.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, iOS 11 destroyed my iPhone. Whatever the hell the last one was, 7.
Yeah, 7.
It demolished it. It would take like 4 times as long to boot up. I couldn't even swipe between stuff. It would stutter. Everything sucked about it. And Apple's only response to that is just start a new phone. It's like, that's not an acceptable option
It's really not.
because you lose a bunch of stuff. You lose all your messaging history.
I still
and all
do
that
it,
stuff.
but it's not acceptable.
Yeah. So I was like, no. So I just sat there for a month with this crap phone. And I thought, it's my final chance for Apple. If I get the new phone and I can transfer my current stuff to the new one and it works, then that'll be good. And I did it and it works. And it's the best phone I've ever had. And I love it so much.
I did contact you and ask you what you thought of the phone before I got mine.
I was showing Megan because she got the 8. So I got the 10. And you,
Wow, she's impatient.
she's impulsive. So all the alerts come in now, but they don't show any previews until you look at it and unlock it with your face. So it will say like message from blah, 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 mail, but it won't say any of the details. Then you look at it and it's like bing, and all the information comes up.
Nice.
So I was showing Meg this feature. I was like, oh, let's see, there's a thing, BBC News. Look at this. Looked at it. 26 people dead in Texas shooting. I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
That's
That's
a
a
total
bummer for
bummer.
showing a feature of my new phone.
Check this out.
Yeah, I was literally like ready to be like, look at that.
Our news alerts are bad.
Yeah,
And anytime my
Wow.
phone buzzes and it's like the New York Times or the Washington Post, I'm like, oh, do I really want to look at this?
Brace yourself.
Do I really need to know?
Yeah.
I was in a coffee shop.
I was
when
not.
got the news
I was not
yesterday.
ready for that information.
Yeah, I just gotten out of Thor. I was like on my fucking Thor high because that movie rocked. And then Alana nudges me. We're in the coffee shop, and then I look at it, and I just like could feel myself sink.
It's not even 2 months since the last one, isn't it?
Dude, and the thing is like Columbine happened, and when that happened, it was just like that was fucking earth-shattering news when Columbine happened. I remember like so many changes were implemented in schools.
Maybe it's the first one you remember. I mean, this goes all the way back to the 60s. Like, Austin was one of the sites for the first ever mass shootings.
Or from
Yeah.
the tower?
But I don't know. I just remember the reaction to that was just so like visceral. The whole country was shaken. And not that this isn't the case, but it's like 2 shootings happened on a bigger scale within 2 months. Yeah, it's just insane.
Well,
There's been stuff since then. Like, we had the shooting a few weeks ago in Vegas. I've been out of town for a while. Is it about a month ago now that it was?
I think so.
Then we had this one in the church, which was 2 or 3 days ago. But we've had one in Austin since then. And I don't think most people are going to be aware of this because it's not global news.
Just over a month.
Just over a month. It's not global news, or it's not even, national news. But there was this thing where a guy in Austin just randomly shot 4 people. Just started randomly shooting at cars.
Yeah.
He was like driving and shooting at the same time.
4 people's a mass shooting. It's multiple people getting shot. And
that was up on 183 or something?
No, it was all up and down 35. I think they said somewhere like he started shooting like way down south and then drove north along the interstate.
where's Nat? Nat, you want to jump on mic? Because she's from Vegas. So I've been curious, like what I haven't talked to anybody who. Not many people I know live in Vegas. It's rare to know somebody who lives in Vegas.
I think
Caden's from Vegas.
The frustrating thing
Yeah.
is, after the Vegas thing, it seemed like we were going to see some action. Like there was serious effort to like put some restrictions in place to let's cut some of the bullshit with our gun laws, and then that just all went away.
That always happens.
We haven't seen anything at all come from it.
Also, the shooting in the school, same thing. And the shooting at the nightclub.
Well, Massachusetts outlawed bump stocks and something else.
Was it trigger cranks?
Maybe so. But whatever it was the buzzwords that happened like right after the Las Vegas shooting.
I think the sales of bump stocks went up.
Or did they really?
After that shooting.
Don't even. I mean, that's a weird stat, but people are finding out about something for the first time, and they get it as a result. I mean, honestly, Gavin, there was probably a lot of those were being purchased by news organizations and YouTube creators who wanted to make a video to show what a bump stock is at that point in time.
That does kind of mess with us.
I'm not saying that was all of them, but there's reasons why things get bought that aren't necessarily like, oh, I want to go out and shoot a bunch of people too.
Did you buy a bump stock?
No, I didn't buy a bump stock after that. So, hey, this is Nat joining us. So, Nat she was in the vlog from we did in Vegas with the helicopter vlog. She was in it briefly, but we didn't really say hello to you during the vlog. So, or we did. I did an intro thing.
Did you cut it?
I did cut it because
Ooh, how's that make you feel, Nat?
I know. Here's why. I did this intro thing where I was talking to her, but I was off camera and I was just pointing the camera saying, hey, tell us about yourself. How'd you hear about Rooster Teeth and all this stuff? Because I've known her for, where do we meet? Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, the laser team panel.
Is that what it was?
Comic-Con a few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so Nat has, I got to figure out I can say this the right way. Nat had a really interesting job where we know a lot of cosplayers who make a living from doing cosplaying. She does it in a really specific way. She's the, I'm going to try to say this as best I can. She's the official Black Widow for a Marvel licensed property. So she was the official person who was playing Black Widow all the time. Did I say that right?
Profile.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So for the vlog, when we did this introduction, I was talking to her. It's just me pointing a camera at this girl and this disembodied male voice asking her questions. I just got a super creepy vibe from it. So I was like, I'm gonna cut this out of the vlog. Cut this out completely.
A little bit casting couch.
It was. I was just watching it back. I was like, this is creepy, right? Now he goes, yeah, this is a little creepy. So I was like, all right, get rid of this.
Good call.
Yeah.
At least you realized it.
Well, you live in Vegas, and you were you weren't at the event, obviously, but you were around when everything went down.
Yeah, I was texting with my friend who was at the event, and we were talking about the song that was being played, the musician that was playing the song. I was looking up the lyrics to the song she was telling me about, and then 4 minutes pass, and I get this text there's gunfire, and we're running.
Oh.
And I'm like, there's nothing on Twitter yet. I opened up a police scanner right away. There's nothing on a police scanner yet. So it was just this horrifying 12 minutes where she didn't text me back, where I'm like, is this gunfire? Is this scary fire? And then everything started rolling in.
It's scary because I actually learned about some events where I learned about the Texas church shooting because suddenly on Facebook, a bunch of my friends that live in Austin were reporting themselves as safe. I was like, uh-oh, what the fuck happened? And so I immediately went to the news and tried to figure out what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got a New York Times push alert.
Did you?
Yeah.
You got to stop. Why you just get off that?
Because you got to know the news.
But it upsets you, though.
You got to know the news.
Let me ask you a question. Show of hands. Who here follows Donald Trump on Twitter? You actively follow him. I don't.
I do not.
I
have an unpopular opinion, I think. I do not like that his account was deleted by some rogue employee.
Oh, I agree with you.
And it seemed like everyone was celebrating it, saying, oh, it's the hero we deserve, or this is the hero we need. I don't like that. What they say now is some contractor on his last day has the ability, right, they're not going to, has the ability to silence an account that he disagrees with, or he or she disagrees with, who knows. I don't like the guy. I don't like the things he says, but if he's not violating the terms of the website.
People always try to show how he is, though, by threatening nuclear war and how that's a violent act to do that. So,
nah,
it's that kind of thing. They do try to show how it could potentially be the violation of the terms of service.
What the hell is that noise?
I don't know. What is that? Does anybody know?
Someone's giant vibrator.
It's a what?
They need to get that car checked.
Is that car from 1915? Is it a fucking Model T?
I can push it.
Yeah, I thought people were really
yesterday. Wow, that's crazy. Somebody just wrote that to me.
People were
yesterday.
We're happy about that. Someone on Twitter, who is this? People can tweet us at #RTPodcast. And talking about Vegas, said there's no laws that would have stopped Vegas. Killing people is already against the law. Well, let's make it more difficult. Why can't we implement some type of laws to make it so that it's not so easy to kill that many people that quickly?
Especially Vegas. Vegas is
hey, is murder illegal in the UK? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Vegas to me is a place too where it kind of defines where we take what is traditionally legal and make different rules for it, but very specific different rules, and that works out okay. People in Vegas they're going wild, but they're not going like off the charts, like crazy wild, because there's still laws in place to govern what people are doing there. But it is seen as a place where you can go to bend kind of the rules a little bit and go into a little bit of a gray area.
Like whores.
Am I describing Vegas properly here? What's it like living in Las Vegas?
Boring.
Is it?
It's boring. It's especially like when you were out there, you're like, what's fun to do? And I'm like, I don't do any of the stuff that tourists would consider fun because it's boring and mundane to me.
Yeah, what do Las Vegas people do for fun? You go to the casinos like every night?
Oh, God, no.
I'm going to out her a little bit. She took us to Treasure Island. It was kind of kind of gross.
You said you wanted to go somewhere divey and gross for laughs.
Oh, that is true.
Yes.
Shits and gigs.
We did something on the vlog that we cut. I don't know if I've talked about it before. Maybe I have.
How much do you cut from this?
Cut a lot from the vlog. We're learning.
Well, this was an unrelatable thing. That's something I'm very careful because we film a lot. It's like 100-to-1 shooting ratio, and you just pick the best moments.
Jesus Christ!
But we did this thing. Ellie and I, we were out late. It was for the GameStop event. Ashley and John had to go to bed early because their hosting thing was the next day, but mine was all done. So we ended up staying out a lot later. And then we hatched this plan. Never come up with a plan when you're drunk. Came up with this plan of, hey, there's this place in Vegas where if you have a hangover, you can get an IV.
Oh, right.
And you can get over your hangover. We talked about it on the podcast before.
Good idea.
It's a great idea, right? So, but the idea when you're drunk is, hey, let's make sure we're hungover tomorrow.
Oh.
So then you end up just drinking it a lot. We're out to like 4 a.m. because there's no fucking last call. And then we end up at this, at this IV place. I gotta say, we didn't put it in the vlog because it didn't seem relatable in any way. Even when we're doing it, we're like, this is kind of like a little gross. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of gross. But I have to say, it worked like a fucking charm.
Well, why don't you show it? That's interesting.
It worked like we're working on a end of the year vlog for stuff we didn't include, and I think that might make the cut.
That makes sense.
I think that's relatable. They advertise that to like everyone up and down the strip. They have like the big truck.
You've talked about that on the podcast, so it makes total sense to put in the vlog.
Yeah. So it would be cool, but I don't know. I get Gavin. I mean, it's a lot of times with video content on the internet, if you make something that the people find unrelatable, they just kind of hammer on you for it. And the big one for me was. It's usually something to do with money. And the big one for me of the vlog when I went to San Francisco, it was Ashley's birthday. So we took a helicopter ride, a tour of San Francisco. It was like, it was expensive. It was like $750, but people were just like really furious that we did that. They were very upset. And the price of getting us to San Francisco and staying in a hotel in San Francisco for 3 days was like 4 times that amount just to travel and go to San Francisco. Awesome. But nobody freaks out when you go to a city. But it's still, that's the more expensive.
Yeah, I went to San Francisco with Turney last year, and the whole trip was like, it was like $1,800 all in all.
Oh, boo fucking who! I go there every month.
I do that too.
To maintain my relationship.
It's an expensive place.
It is.
Just find yourself a local girl.
I'm gonna watch
your boiling water on her.
I did not do that. That was alleged. I watched your blog to live vicariously through you and your like weird escapades. I don't want to see you getting up and making breakfast. I want to see you like
I do want to
shooting a fucking machine gun out of a helicopter.
You say that, but I made a. Oh, Nat did it too, by the way. How cool was that, right?
I think that's the coolest thing I've done in my entire life, and I will never do anything cooler.
And she saw Ellie take the header out of the helicopter. I didn't see it. But you saw it, right?
Yeah, like I was turning away, and then I saw her falling down. It was like slow motion, just like nothing I could do. It was
a crack. She went down hard. But I couldn't hear it because of the blades. So I turned around, and just everyone's around her. I was like,
so if you didn't hear it, did it happen?
I don't know. Other people saw it, so they know it happened for sure.
Jack handed me some Extra Life stuff.
Oh, cool.
This weekend, right?
Congrats to the community team. They raised $58,000. 91,000. So why I was looking at the Extra Life leaderboard. I thought it was higher. Why is it listed as a lesser amount? Nat, thanks. Good to see you. Jack's going to swap out.
What am I looking at here, Jack?
Bye, Nat.
Hi. No, so, okay, that right there, that's the pin set we have for sale this weekend. It's a 4 set of pins from, if you remember the Pokemon poster we had a couple years ago?
Yes.
That is like the gym badges that go with it. Oh. And so that's an exclusive thing only available next weekend from 8 a.m. till 8 a.m. Saturday to Sunday.
So it's like a gym badged version of the Let's Play family.
Exactly.
Right?
By the way, just to introduce the audience, this is Jack. He's also a professional cosplayer.
Hello,
Jack. I am.
He plays a homeless lumberjack.
Are you Zangief?
I am. I fight bear. No, Bernie. So we started. If you go to extra-life.org/roosterteeth, that is the Rooster Teeth Super Team, which is all of the different groups combined together. So this weekend this previous weekend was about showcasing 25 different teams teams that are part of the Rooster Teeth super team. So they ended up raising about $45,000 just from the 24 hours that we had done, and we were already at about 50,000 when we started.
Wow.
So,
Go to the damn poster so I can put my arms down.
No, it's
so we're
funny. Keep it up.
96,000. So that's Gus. That's Gus holding the brand new poster we have
Get
this
that
year.
quarter
It's
down.
the Rooster Teeth land.
Paper cut.
So it's very difficult to kind of showcase every aspect of Rooster Teeth, and we figured a theme park style map would be the way to do it. So there's live action land, there's slow mo guys balloon, there's the boot from Laser Team, the Achievement Hunter area, the Funhouse Cove, Camp Land.
Don't give it all away. To
Podcast
really enjoy
alley.
it, you should
Dude,
get
there's
one
a-
yourself to support the kids.
There's a junkyard Easter egg. That's all I'm going to say. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there's a junkyard area full of some retired shows. It's pretty funny. So, I know, yeah. Anyway, but that's available for sale this weekend from 8 a.m. Central till 8 a.m. Central, Saturday to Sunday. And proceeds from that, we're not making any money off the poster or the pin set. Also, we have shirts too. I don't have any of those yet, but those are all going to all the proceeds go to the Rooster Teeth donation to Extra Life. And this year we're trying to hit $1 million, which
a lot of money.
Lofty goal.
it's a lot of money.
Lofty goal.
And so, but yeah, the community's already raised a whole bunch of money. We're almost at 100,000 without even starting ours. So I'm really hoping we hit it. And I know I talked to Gus about possibly having it where we're gonna have some raffle stuff where you can come see a podcast recorded live if you win the raffle. I don't know if that's still going on.
Why
And
don't
Gus,
we just-
do you want to talk about the other thing that you want to give away in the raffle?
Are we doing that?
We can, yeah, we're doing it. Or I mean, I haven't talked to
it was-
anyone, but I'm cool with doing
Give it to me.
It was your suggestion, I think, a few months ago that we want to give away the old podcast chairs that you and I used to sit on.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Those metal ones?
The black and white ones.
The ones with termites?
I don't remember suggesting that, but sure, why not?
You did suggest it.
People want old chairs? Let's do it.
They're antiques, and
What about the
we
fridge?
sat
with
in them. We
the-
farted in them for many years.
What about the fridge with the dead mouse in it?
No, the fridge that's being used. The one caveat I will say about those chairs is they're probably going to be a bitch to ship. So that's going to come with some asterisks that we need to figure out.
Yeah. So
Can people donate internationally?
anyone can donate from wherever they want. If you go to roosterteeth.com/extralife, there's a donate button right underneath kind of the window where our video will be. Click on that; it'll take you to our donation page. And so we had fans in Australia donating last time. We had a group from the UK, RTUK. They did an hour of time on the community stream, and it went really, really well. It was great. We had 25 different teams from all over the planet representing Canada, UK, all over America, and we raised a lot of money. We almost got to 100,000 because we said at $100,000. If we managed to hit that number, Michael in broadcast would eat one of the one chip challenge chips.
Oh God!
Someone sent us 11 of those. Someone sent us 10, and someone else sent us 1. So we have a lot of those to play with this year. So
Are those like hot chip?
yeah.
It's one chip in the package, and that's it.
So Gavin's gonna eat a bunch of them this weekend.
Do it, Gav.
God.
Anyway, I don't want to jump in. I don't want to get in the way, but I just want to say like that we have our poster, we have our pins. They're in. They look amazing, and I can't wait to have Extra Life this weekend.
Well, Jack, you're going to hear a lot of it this weekend and the coming week, but I just want to say in advance, I know how much work that you and Katie put into this. Thank you so much in advance. It's part of the year that everyone looks forward to.
Kiss.
Can't wait for this year.
Here we go. There's the one chip challenge chip. So here, Gavin,
They come in a coffin. What is that? Oh,
look at that throw.
wow!
Explodes in fire.
Save it for the kids.
So anyway, hashtag for the kids, and and so it went incredibly well. I'm so excited for Extra Life this year. We're aiming for $1 million.
Lofty goal.
And then if we get to 1.5 million, I get to destroy the off topic table. So I hope we do that too. So anyway, fun time.
What's the goal to do that?
1.5 million.
Okay.
Because the problem is we've always set goals and then we hit them and we have nothing else. It's like, oh shit, we hit our goal. Now what do we do? And so I'm trying to set some like stupid goals where it's like if we can get to that, like what would you do? Like Gus, what would you do for $2 million?
We should set fire to stage 5.
There we go. So we'll set fire to stage 5.
$4 million in damage.
Anyway, so thank you very much. Please check it out. Roosterteeth.com/extralife is the place to go this weekend, 8 a.m. Central till Sunday, 8 a.m. Central.
It is 24 hours of incredible mayhem, very entertaining, and all for a really great cause. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Jack. Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Let me read this here.
Why do you have an Entertainment Weekly glass, by the way? What is that?
Want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Blue Apron. How annoying is it just having a bit of wine left in large bottles, not knowing whether it's good or bad?
So annoying.
With Blue Apron, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You can discover 6 new wines monthly from Napa, Bordeaux, and beyond. Each bottle is slightly smaller than standard and perfectly sized for 2 to share over a weeknight meal. You can customize each box with the style and varieties you love. They make learning about wine fun by giving you the who, what, and where of every wine they send. Start discovering new wines today. Get $25 off your first wine box by going to blueapron.com/roosterteethwine. Enjoy perfectly sized wine that comes with custom tasting notes to help you become a wine aficionado. That's blueapron.com/roosterteethwine. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. See, they're like slightly smaller than normal.
You're like a giant.
Yeah. And they like list stuff on the back. Variety, vintage, region, oak, appearance, flavors and aroma, profile. You can be fancy. I had a sommelier give these to me before the show started. I was really confused. They walked up to me with wine, like, here for the ad read. I was like, oh, we're doing the wine read.
Did you taste it?
Here's another
not yet. I don't
great
have
way,
a
a good strategy for never having wine left in bottles. Date Ashley Jenkins. You will never have wine left.
Did she polish them off?
It's crazy. Whenever we have like some kind of party at the house.
Did you just tell us to date Ashley Jenkins?
Sure. Go for it, Gavin. You have my permission. It's all the rage.
What?
But whenever we have a party and Ashley and some of the girls from the company get together, it's just they blow through an incredible amount of wine, and it's very specifically champagne. So there was a really funny female moment that happened where we had these two. We have conflicts sometime at the company. Like Blaine and I have a huge beef with each other. We can't stand each other. But these two people are having a conflict, and I encouraged them to go out and like just work it out or whatever. So it was two ladies, and then
who was it?
They went. I'm not going to say. They went out and they drank wine together, and they had this great moment, and they bonded over everything and worked everything out. And then they also came back and said, and we determined the problem we had was not with each other. The problem is all the men at the company. I was like, that's usually the way those meetings go. Yeah. Usually when girls get together over rosé, I find out that we're just a bunch of assholes.
In their defense, we are assholes.
They have to work with.
We are.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for them.
What's
we're
that?
jerks. I'm awful.
Yeah, but to
women?
Are we jerks?
To everyone. I'm an equal opportunity awful kind of guy.
I think a lot of us, though, have mellowed over the years, except for you. I think
I've mellowed.
Oh, God.
Do you remember the way I used to be?
Yeah, sort
Sounds
of.
like that.
No, you're pretty consistently horrible.
No.
Nothing but great experiences with you, Gus. You invite me over to play video games.
This is not true. You invite him to your house?
No.
Oh, no, it's for his office.
Don't make him jealous. Do not say. Do not let him think you've been in my house.
Someone's
Hey, I
been
haven't
to
been
your
to his house.
Somebody's been to your house.
Yes.
But it wasn't any of us.
Jordan
Jordan
Swears.
Swears.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
Why him?
Because he's harmless.
He's clone Gus, basically.
He lives close by. We're like kind of pseudo neighbors.
I live close by.
You could come by.
Oh, yeah?
No.
I've been to Gavin's house.
One time, I don't know if I've told the story. One time, Jordan was out for a walk around the neighborhood and he locked himself out of his house. So I let him come over to.
Oh, that was
to
the
wait.
reason?
Yeah, for someone to open his house for him.
Weird. I also lost my keys earlier. So, weird.
You come hang out with me, Gavin? Oh, I found them. Oh, dear.
All of a sudden, they're back in my pocket.
So you talk about, drinking wine, and I've been trying to make an effort to drink more water.
Oh, good.
And
That's a good thing.
I started wondering, is there a point of like diminishing returns? Like, when do you start drinking too much water?
I think the 8 glasses a day thing is bullshit.
It's a total bullshit.
Total bullshit.
I think if you're completely clear when you piss, then
That's what made me think about it.
way enough water.
Like, I was taking a piss and I was
But
like, it looks like I'm pissing water. Like, it's just going right through me. It's not doing any
I think it
good.
would taste like water.
Go ahead.
What?
Like, could you drink so much water that it's pretty much water when it comes out? Like surely, if you drank like 5 gallons, the last piss would
I
be.
think you would deplete your body of nutrients though entirely at that point.
Wash everything out.
You'd have nothing to flush out of your system at that point, so you'd be dead.
If you guys have a
do you get-
clear... Sorry.
You get that thing that would remember the lady died drinking too much water trying to win a Nintendo Wii?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
remember
about that.
Fucking Nintendo Wii.
If you guys pee,
It's the most successful console of all time, isn't it?
clear enough pee, do you not flush?
No. I mean,
You
yes,
flush?
I flush every time. What's wrong with you?
I was just asking. I thought it'd be silly if somebody did that.
Well, I feel like if it touched the inside of your urethra, you should probably flush it.
So
Totally.
when you pee clear, do you just don't bother flushing?
I mean,
I live with a roommate who would not flush urine, and it drove me fucking crazy.
Oh, but that's
It was an environmental thing.
You're not apparently you're not supposed to drink more than a liter of water an hour
An hour.
because
Who the fuck's doing that?
your kidneys cannot remove that.
Kidneys can't remove it.
Your kidneys cannot remove what is it? Your kidneys can eliminate so many water a day. They can't get rid of more than 1 liter per hour. So to avoid hyponatremia symptoms, you should not drink more than a liter of water per hour on average.
I chug Nalgene sometimes.
Something Gavin and I discovered when we were in India in Pushkar, it was 125 degrees, was they gave us these World Health Organization salt packets. and they were like salts and electrolytes.
They were good.
You put them in water.
Loved them.
And then you would drink one of those big, like this size. Is that a liter? It's probably a liter.
Sure.
Yeah, big, one of those big, tall bottles of water. You dump one of these packets in that and then drink it. Pretty sure it was a liter.
I think it was 1.5.
I think it was 1 because I had to drink it in less than an hour. So when they showed us these things, I was like, okay, what's this? This is salt. What's it going to do? Drank it. You felt amazing. Really, it's hard to describe just the different feeling I had drinking these things. I've actually ordered them on Amazon since then.
Just for a snack?
Well, yeah, it's them.
It's just salt water?
Those are the ones I bought off Amazon.
You gave me one of those.
The ones we got in India did not look like that. They looked almost generic, like they came out of.
I think they were green and.
I thought salt dehydrates you.
They're
How's it a rehydration salt?
Yeah, hydration salt.
It's just your electrolytes.
What?
It's equilibrium. It's balance.
It's good juice.
They make us drink.
It's a good kind of salt.
We used to eat pickles and mustard before football games because it helps with cramps by giving you electrolytes and whatnot.
I think salt's got a bad rap, Gus.
I'm just saying, like, they tell you not to drink salt water.
But you take salt pills. You can take salt pills for dehydration.
Can you?
I don't think
for
so.
dehydration? Like, I know you put like a little bit of salt on your food, but like saying like here's a liter of salt water seems dangerous to me.
Also, salt pills are just salt, right?
What are salt pills? I've never heard of salt pills before. You just said salt pills like 10 seconds ago.
So this is gonna bring salt pills for runners. How dare you?
I'm not a runner, obviously.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between hydration salt and just sodium? Like, what part is bad? Which part sucks?
From what I understand, my understanding is your body has like a certain salinity to it, and it can filter up to a certain salinity of water. And
is that why you
salt
float?
water, like ocean water, is too saline. So in order to filter it, your body takes water from itself to dilute the salt water to make it less saline in order to be able to filter it. And that's why it's like using your own water to try to dilute it.
I was in a lot of salt water the week after PAX. We went up to a place called, it's on the map, it's called Cairns, Cairns.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that?
Cairns.
Yeah, it's Cairns, which I think is
That's
just
in France.
Australian way of saying
They're just saying that
Cairns.
with their accent. They're
Cairns.
saying,
yeah, but
they're saying Cairns.
I'm going there for Christmas.
Cairns. Are you?
Yeah. Going to Australia for Christmas.
Well, we got to go to, that's where one of the places where you can then take a boat and go out to the Great Barrier Reef. And Ellie is a dive master, certified scuba diver.
Of course she is.
She could take us.
that why
She
she
could take us out. We got to go to the Great Barrier Reef, and it's from what I understand, those tours are not going to run for a whole lot longer.
Well, the Barrier Reef's not going to be around for much longer.
That's
so
the problem,
You can't
yeah.
tour what's not there.
Is it like visiting a grandparent on their deathbed?
No, not at all. It was
like a way more
gorgeous.
extreme version of that.
I'm sure I didn't get to go to the places that are extraordinarily bleached, but the places we were gorgeous. And there was occasionally like a coral patch that had like either a dark spot or a white spot that looked out of place, but I don't know. It's a weird environment down there too because I was just swimming. We went through what's called a swim through, which I probably shouldn't have been doing at my level of scuba diving, but
You had Ellie there.
basically through a cave, and I scraped the side of the wall. I was very careful not to touch any coral the entire time, and I like cut my hand because it's basically like rock, and I got a little piece of coral in it. That was one of the most painful cuts I've ever had in my life. And getting that coral out, they're like, yeah, you got to get rid of that, otherwise it'll get deeply
So
infected.
it's just a really bad splinter.
Yeah, a really bad splinter, but it's almost like an alien environment to where all the bacteria and all the living organisms down there you should not be exposed to, and everywhere you look is something that can probably kill you or infect you.
It's like getting the little black eye drop in Prometheus.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
You said alien environment.
Here, listen, I saw Alien Covenant on the plane. This is a movie we can talk about this, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the aliens in Alien Prometheus, no, that's not what it's called, in Alien Covenant, I feel like those aliens were far superior to the aliens than we end up with later. But they make a big deal about getting to the evolution of Xenomorph. Yeah. And am I wrong?
I never saw Covenant.
Which one? The dog, the white little dog?
Yeah, the
ones?
little white ones, and it's like the fact that it's like if you step on a spore, it infects you. You don't have to look in a fucking egg like an idiot and get hit in the face. It's like it can infect you through. It's an airborne alien. That's 20,000 times worse.
Yeah, but the xenomorph alien killed like 9 people.
You mean the alien itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dope's not a freighter. I mean, they didn't have any guns or anything. Once the soldiers came, in Aliens 2, they're like, they killed 1,000 of these things. Like, it was no big deal.
Like auto turrets.
It was fucking badass.
I think that was cut, actually.
They cut that out.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's a really cool deleted scene in Aliens.
Yeah, I watched that. I have the extended version.
It was like 15,000 rounds per turret, and they're just pouring.
And you see it tick down to there's like 7 bullets left or something.
And then they go away at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone. And everybody's saved. All the aliens are gone forever. But I don't know. It just seems like the mechanic of the 2-stage life cycle of the current alien, it just seems unnecessary when compared to what it came from.
Well,
in Prometheus,
they have to have like stakes for the new movie because that's like the whole
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's a prequel, so that makes it weird.
I know, but it's the same thing as the prequel trilogy for Star Wars, related back to Star Wars.
There you go.
Like they're like, the architecture and the ships look way more advanced. Hey,
where's Eric? Since we're talking about movies, just get Eric up here.
In Alien Covenant, correct me if I'm wrong. Are they on a mission to like populate an area? So they send like 5 couples or something?
Yeah,
it's a colony ship.
Why don't they send like 100 women and 3 dudes? It seems like that's a weird ratio.
Listen to you.
They send a whole ship full of people. There's like people in hyper sleep.
Yeah, that was just the crew.
embryos.
The crew.
Oh, that was the crew.
following.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie.
The colonists are in the deep sleep in the back.
Yeah.
And there's embryos.
Then James Franco. Don't even talk about him. Spoiler alert.
What?
What? No, don't worry about it.
He's great in the movie.
Yeah, he does great
he's
performance.
Really
Really good
Great
performance.
climber.
What? Yeah. He's
I'm
on
twisting
fire.
ours
He's on
reference.
fire, dude.
I'm going to read one more thing before we get to Eric, and then we'll loop Eric in for this discussion about
You're
Alien
getting
Covenant.
bumped, Eric, for an ad read here.
I want to remind everyone this episode of Received Podcast is also brought to you by Casper, a sleep brand that continues to revolutionize its line of products to create an exceptionally comfortable sleep experience one night at a time. Casper's mattresses are designed by humans for humans, not aliens. If you're an alien, you do not get a Casper mattress. They combine multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce. Casper's breathable design helps you sleep cool and regulate your body temperature throughout the night. They're not just a mattress company. Casper offers a wide array of products to ensure an overall better sleep experience. Talk about it many times. I love my Casper, my favorite mattress I've ever had to sleep on. You can buy it easily online, completely risk-free. It'll be delivered right to your door in a compact box. Considering we spend 1/3 of our lives on a mattress, it's so important to truly sleep on a mattress before committing. That's why Casper gives you 100 nights to try it out. Start sleeping ahead of the curve with Casper. Get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/RT and using promo code RT at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. That's $50 towards any mattress by visiting casper.com/RT using promo code RT at checkout. Okay. Eric, you're
Twitter's follow up the real quick from Twitter.
Yeah.
Salt pills were common during World War II to help soldiers retain their body's water until they could find a good source of water. So salt helps you retain water when you're in a situation where you'll be shedding water.
I guess as long as it's not too salty.
Yeah. Everything in moderation, right? I guess. All right, so everybody say hello. This is Eric Vespi. Hey, Eric, how are you doing?
Hi, Eric.
Hi, everybody.
Eric, we've known for a long time. I've known you for
Many years.
Many years,
Yeah.
15 years.
I feel like I've hung out with you more in other countries than this
Oh,
one.
always. Yeah.
What other countries have you hung out with Eric in?
New Zealand?
Yeah? That would make sense.
I like your shirt.
Oh, thanks.
I told you. I said he said, "Can I wear this shirt on the podcast?" And I said, "Blaine's on it, so he's going to fall in love with your shirt instantly." It's a Star Wars Good, Bad, and the Ugly shirt.
Not the good, the bad, and the Wookiee.
But Eric, you recently left what I consider to be really the first blog ever. Ain't It Cool News, where you were an entertainment editor for how long?
I started writing for that site when I was about 16 years old.
That's crazy.
So back in the internet age, that means I'm about 350, I think. But
You're amongst friends.
You have to remember back in the wild west days of the internet, people barely figured out dial-up at that point, right? So Ain't It Cool got to be one of the very first places on the map that would actually talk about movie geek stuff. So it was the first place, all these people, I grew up in a little town called Sunnyvale, and it's not so little anymore because it's Cupertino area, but nobody liked movies around there as much as I did anyway. So when there's lots of little me's around, and when the internet hit, the community gathered, and Ain't It Cool was right at the forefront of that. Yeah.
And now you're at the No. And what's your official title at the No?
I am senior writer, senior entertainment writer.
Senior entertainment writer. Okay.
Yes.
Isn't your avatar on Twitter Robert Shaw from Jaws? Holy shit. I knew who you were before I knew who you were.
I'm sneaky that way. No,
That's cool.
Yeah, no.
Well, Eric, he went by the name Quint for years, which is why then the Robert Shaw, because Quint from
Yeah.
Jaws' favorite movie, fair to say?
What's that?
Favorite movies, Jaws?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only, of course, I probably saw it when I was a kid, but you have an original print of Jaws that we got to watch.
I have a friend who has a 35 millimeter print.
Is that what it is?
of
Okay.
I have a 16 millimeter print, and this is actually really interesting. I'm going to drop a big name here, but I have a 16 millimeter print that's a TV print. Which means it's a cut that was only meant for TV. Like back in the old days, they would need to fill a certain space, and if a movie's like Jaws is like a little over 2 hours, and so that's more than the time that they could fill when they add in commercials. So they like had to cut in like deleted scenes and stuff like that. So there's a very famous Quint introduction that was cut where he's like kind of giving shit to this kid in a music store and like makes him cry and all this stuff. And it's the first time you meet him in the movie, and nobody ever got to see that until the DVD came out. But my 16 millimeter print has this scene in it. And in 2004 or 5, I got to go to the set of War of the Worlds and meet Steven Spielberg, who's one of my idols. And so I brought that up because, I'm trying to impress Steven Spielberg, I guess. And I'm like, hey, I have this cool print that has this stuff. And there's like little things in there that like have never made any DVD, just like a shot of Brody walking down a street. And I'm like, it's, this is really cool that, I have this, right? Steven, love me and be impressed by me. And he just kind of looked at me, he goes, you got something I don't have. And then like walked away. And I'm just like, all right, cool. I win this time, Steven Spielberg.
You can punch that story up a little bit. I've always been jealous because Eric gets to do the coolest stuff. Him being a fan of Jaws, like Jaws, Blaine is like his Star Wars for you. Star Wars. He got to, was it the 40th anniversary of Jaws? The 30th? He got to go interview all the members of the surviving cast and Steven Spielberg in Universal Studios Park in the island where the Jaws comes out for the tram that goes by. And that was his set to interview all of them. Was that this thing? Am I telling that story right?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, yeah, I got to talk to Joe Alves, who's the production designer and the guy that kind of made, the shark work. And Carl Gottlieb, who was one of the writers, and he also played the newspaper guy in the movie.
Had Roy Scheider died by that point?
Yeah, he had gone. I still never met Dreyfuss. Like, I'm assuming he would make me cry. Because he's supposedly not the nicest dude in the world.
Oh, really? I kind of like that.
But that was really awesome because, as a kid, you go to Universal Studios and you take the tram tour. And when you're as big of a Jaws nerd as I was, like that was the thing. We go to Universal because I wanted to see the shark. And so here we are sitting, and in the background, the tram's going by and the shark's jumping out. So I have this video interview of like me and Carl Gottlieb, and he's talking in the background. There's people screaming in the tram and, the shark jumping out of the water. But the coolest part about doing that wasn't actually sitting and talking to people. It was afterwards, like doing our dead time in between. So I'd wait for the trams to go by, and then it would just be silent for like 4 or 5 minutes. And as the shark like reset itself and all that, and I would just go up and like take a picture in front of the Jaws sign, the Amity sign.
Amity sign, yeah.
Stuff like that. And just kind of like, you see a section of it you never see from a point of view, like go behind the scenes.
What's this movie for you, Gus? What's like your movie that you like more than anybody else, you think?
It might be Rushmore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I've probably watched Rushmore a couple hundred times.
I'm going to guess Gavin's.
I want to guess too.
I'm going to guess it's Hot Fuzz.
Goldfinger.
Caligula. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Get out of here. Really?
Love it. As a kid, that was the movie I watched the most.
A lot of people like it.
When Nature Calls, or the original?
Pet Detective, the original.
The original. How dare you? Mine would probably be The Matrix. I still love The Matrix an exceptional amount, and I can watch The Matrix.
We've seen that.
We saw that together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I watched it on a plane. It holds up okay. But before we say goodbye to Eric, I do want to talk about one thing, which is Thor.
I have something I want to bring up too with Eric, if it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to steal your thunder, like riding for the no.
We're gonna talk in a second about Thor Ragnarok.
Talk about stealing thunder.
All right, what do you got, guys?
What are your thoughts about these rumors about Disney potentially acquiring Fox?
What the fuck is that about?
That's my understanding is those talks are kind of dead, but I think it's eventually going to happen. It's super exciting.
You get the Marvel movie, like the culmination.
It would essentially bring X-Men and more importantly, in my view, Fantastic Four back over to Marvel. And I'm not saying that I think it would be less cool to have X-Men within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but for whatever reason, Fox just cannot make a good Fantastic Four movie to save their lives. They made good X-Men movies. So I don't know. I think eventually they are going to. Huh?
That last one was...
Well, they made a bunch of
I give Logan was amazing, though.
Logan was good.
Logan was... Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I give X-Men credit for kicking off the last decade and a half of comic book movies.
For sure.
Yeah, before X-Men, the only comic book movie I can think of was like Unbreakable. And it was like a movie that like tricked you into going to watch it.
Blade.
Punisher?
Blade beat them to it, but it was really the double shot of X-Men and Spider-Man that like really kicked off this superhero thing that we have now.
And I just read Thor Ragnarok this opening weekend. It is the 17th release in a row by Marvel that opened at number 1.
Yep.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, their track record's incredible.
How many movies per year are they putting out at this point? This is the third Marvel of the year?
4 or 5?
Yeah, I think they're trying to aim for 2 or 3. Because we have, Black Panther and Infinity Wars next year?
Yeah.
God, I'm so excited for Black Panther.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a trailer in there. I got to say one thing about this run of comic book movies, which as a kid I was wanting to see these movies. And I think what's really great about where we are, this era of cinema with all these comic book heroes making their way in the mainstream, is I think it's proven something that all of us growing up as geeky kids realized, and that is that Marvel is way fucking better than DC. And I know I'll go to my grave saying that. I don't know how anybody can argue that
Batman!
DC is on the level of Marvel
But Batman.
in any way at this point.
Well,
and fucking Superman.
You know what's really interesting is when I was a kid, like I was all about Marvel Comics, but I was, as for the reading material, but it was DC movies. It was Superman the movie. It was Batman.
Well, they're making them.
Well, I mean, that's true, but it's just a weird kind of dynamic that I was just thinking about earlier today with that news.
You know, like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four?
Yeah, it's so great.
You were talking about
almost as bad as the Fox Fantastic Four movies.
You're talking about Marvel having 17 movies open at number 1. With Thor Ragnarok, they've crossed $5 billion in North American box office.
Wait, and they were purchased for $4 billion.
Right.
Think about that.
I remember you talking about that on the podcast.
$4 billion.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars, I think, sold for 4.2. Was it? Am I close?
Yeah, it was about 4 for each. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting that Star Wars as a franchise was worth as much as all of Marvel. Yeah. I'm looking forward to if Marvel and Disney get hold of Fantastic Four. I just know that Tony Stark's going to make an appearance in a Fantastic Four movie. Is he contractually obligated to be in every Marvel movie, or to at least be mentioned in every Marvel movie?
He's mentioned in Thor.
He's mentioned in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. His clothes make it to Thor.
He probably wants to be in every movie, right?
Probably. I mean, they're paying him all the money in the world. They might as well use him while they can.
Well, and the dude, you also have to remember that before Iron Man, Downey was just out. He was out of Hollywood. He wasn't insurable. It's like I know he personally feels a lot of that he owes Marvel a lot for giving his career back.
And but Marvel owes a lot to Jon Favreau and 100%. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, true. I mean, when you have like the people like Chris Evans are like always talking about, it's like, oh, maybe this will be my last Captain America. Maybe I won't re-sign the contract. It's like, I think we're going to have Downey pretty much until Marvel doesn't want him anymore, which I doubt is going to happen.
Right.
Then he'll get his Logan at the very end.
I assume he also likes playing that character. It's an interesting character.
It's interesting.
Captain America's a boring character.
Oh.
There's I can see why Chris Evans is maybe getting bored with that role.
Did you see
He's just like buff and punches, and he has to be nice.
What's wrong with that?
But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just there's not as much depth as there is with Tony Stark.
I don't know. They had fun with him in Spider-Man: Homecoming, like all of his PSAs that he made.
That's true,
and that's kind of a fun way to
get
approach
around
that character.
Shitty superheroes by making them funny.
Yeah. Like even the opening of Avengers 2 where he says, what does he say, language to everybody when they're...
Language. Did Cap just say language?
But, I don't know. I'm really excited about the direction things are going. Did you see the Chris Pratt Halloween photo of him with his kid? His kid's dressed as Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Pratt's walking down the sidewalk with him. And it's literally, he must have spied the photographer. He's just going like this. Look at this fucking
like
kid.
A paparazzi photo? Or was that someone who he knew took that picture?
I don't know. I assumed it's paparazzi if it's a famous person.
Yeah, must be the nicest.
It's also a good photo.
Me.
You know?
It was you.
Yeah, it was Eric in the bush.
I thought
Thor Ragnarok.
I thought Thor was my favorite Marvel movie that wasn't the Avengers.
Really? The first one?
The first one.
I thought it was going to be garbage because I don't know how you could make a movie about a Norse god superhero, and somehow they pulled it off. What?
But,
I was going to say Winter Soldier's.
but when you compare it to the first Thor or the first Captain America, it's night and day in terms of the style they have now, where it's just like, it was just a comedy movie. It was a comedy movie with awesome punching and improv, and it was great.
You should go see Thor Ragnarok then.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, this one you just saw?
Yeah.
The new one. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking the original Thor was that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the original Thor was nothing like the one we just.
No.
I got you.
I feel like since they're in the same wheelhouse, like Disney should, or I guess Lucasfilm should take cues from Marvel. Like Taika Waititi did something fucking amazing with that movie and that character. And if Star Wars would kind of like, relinquish some control a little bit and like the Spencer and Lord thing,
I think
we could see more variety.
We're at different stages in those cycles, right? Like Marvel Cinematic Universe, they built out phases starting, even before the first Iron Man. Like we're going to have, we have your serious movies, then you're going to get a little crazy. And now we're like so far removed from all that. Everyone knows the characters. You can have some stuff that's a little crazy, like Guardians of the Galaxy. You couldn't have led with Guardians of the Galaxy, right? That comes like the beginning of phase 3. Star Wars, they're having to re-earn trust after the prequels. So you got to play it safe for a few movies, and then you start.
That put them at phase 0.
Right. They might have been at phase -1.
I feel like they already have that system in place, though. It's like you got the main ones, 7, 8, 9, and then you can have the fun side anthology movies. I mean, what do you think?
We'll see if Solo, what happens with Solo.
Yeah, well, I mean, Solo, I think, was supposed to be like that wacky version, and then they just kind of like, nah, we got to keep it.
Well, I think Marvel had their time where they kind of got backfire for holding on too tight and doing too much by committee. That happened with Edgar Wright leaving Ant-Man.
Yeah.
It happened with Alan Taylor and Thor: The Dark World, which ended up being, in my opinion, the worst of the MCU movies.
Really? Worse than Iron Man 3?
You don't like Iron Man 3?
I love Iron Man 3. Everybody
hate
hates
Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
I
he
love
doesn't
Iron
have
Man
the suit
3.
for like half the movie. But anyway,
He's got that stupid kid helping him.
I hate talking about movies with Eric because when Eric says something, I go, "Oh, my opinion is wrong."
In this case, you are wrong. Like I was expecting you to say Iron Man 2, and I'm like, well, that's like a writer's strike movie, so they didn't have a script for half of that. So, but like Iron Man 3, it's
Shane Black.
Iron Man 3 is kind of like what I love so much about Thor Ragnarok is it's very much a Shane Black movie.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok's very much a Taika Waititi movie. And to me, like that's the most exciting thing about the film. I think it goes a little bit too far with the silliness because there's like some real death, like on-screen death stuff that happens in Ragnarok that should have been had a big impact, but everybody's joking around it the whole time. So like to me, I think they aired a little bit too much on the side of silliness over emotion. But I can't be upset about that because it also shows that Marvel's letting go a little bit. Right, and that they're not as holding on as tight. They're not doing it by committee. They're letting the filmmakers have their reign. And I think Lucasfilm will eventually get there if they haven't already. I mean, I've heard Rian Johnson's got had pretty fair reign on Last Jedi, but like I have no idea if that's just because he's awesome or if it's because they just like him or what. But yeah, I mean they're definitely fumbling right now with the Solo thing and with 9, Trevorrow getting kicked off at 9.
They just wrapped Solo like 2 weeks ago, right?
They did, yeah.
Just pretty recently.
And they hired a journeyman director to come in and do it, Ron Howard, to reshoot it.
It took him like 4 months from when he took over, right? Like 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, I think I saw something online. I have no idea how true it is because it was on the internet, but I think I saw somebody say that it was he reshot about 80% of the movie.
Damn.
Fuck me. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 is also a problem, too, because I think the issue that they're facing is how are they going to deal with Carrie Fisher and her characters.
Yeah. I'm dying to find out how they deal with her in 8.
I'm fucking bummed because, like, I know that they had something set, in place where they would have taken Leia, but now we'll never know.
Yeah, no, because if you look at now it's kind of becoming clear, episode 7 was Han's movie, episode 8's Luke's movie, and 9 would have been Leia's movie.
Fuck. Yeah,
right?
You're absolutely right. That probably would have been the case.
Yeah, no, it's but already, like, if you guys saw the last trailer for like that emotional beat, without spoiling too much if somebody didn't want to watch the trailer, but there's an emotional beat where between Carrie Fisher and Kylo Ren that's like where they're not anywhere near the same place, but they connect.
Yeah.
And there's more emotion in that like 4 seconds in the trailer than in any of the prequels.
As someone who loves movies, talking about you, do you like trailers?
I love the trailers.
Okay.
So there was a trailer.
I'm very anti-trailer.
For you mean trailers in general or the trailers for Star Wars in particular?
I don't watch any trailers.
Yeah, so I was at
Aside from the ones
Ragnarok
that are before
last
movies.
night. it came on. I realized instantly. I think the first shot was Walkers, and it was the Star Trek trailer. I immediately stood up.
The Star Trek trailer?
Star Trek. I say Star Wars. So I immediately bailed out and I don't want to watch the Star Wars trailer. I've avoided it this whole time, and I left the theater and then came back 2 or 3 minutes later.
I did that too for Blade Runner 2049, and it came on, and I was on a date with Alana, and I remember it came up, and I was like, and I looked like a fucking crazy person, but I didn't want to hear or see.
I'd probably enjoy myself a lot more if I avoided trailers, but like growing up, that was the thing that got me excited about movies.
Yeah.
Like there's an art form to a good trailer.
I love the anticipation, but too often trailers do ruin
all the
big
time.
Key moments in movies, but I can't help but be excited.
Trophy just brings this up with like the Suicide Squad. It's so interesting. Like that, they need to have a case study on that because it's just like it made the movie look something completely different than the movie.
Ragnarok spoiled a lot of stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
It spoiled a ton of stuff.
The trailer did?
Man.
Some big moments.
Because Alana and I were talking, she said if that reveal that was in the trailer hadn't happened, if they kept that big character reveal secret, I mean, can we just say it? Because everybody knows
it's in the trailer. So
the Hulk, if they had kept the Hulk under wraps, holy shit, can you imagine?
And I hate when the movie presents something as it's a big secret, but the trailer has what's coming,
Well, like the very first piece of art for Ragnarok, anything that they released was Thor and Hulk fighting.
Yeah, it's on the poster
Colosseum.
too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
a good flick.
I don't know, but the anticipation of it, it's like, I'll always, I hate the Star Wars prequels with a passion, but like I'll always look fondly on those 2 weeks leading up to Phantom Menace and just kind of that anticipation. And
I camped out behind the Metropolitan for
everybody
for
got
tickets.
Pizza Hut and KFC so they could try to get the
I remember
exclusive stuff. Yeah.
reading your journal way back on the old site.
Yeah.
Old site. And you would watch like slightly more of the Matrix Reloaded trailer.
Right. I didn't want
and
to
then
see
you
it.
would turn it off and then you'd be like, all right, I'm going to watch it again and get a little bit further. And then
2 seconds.
that movie was
And I would do an update at the end of every journal, like picked up another 2 seconds of the Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah.
trailer.
Great.
But then that movie was a big
That's when
bag
I
of
was
balls.
living in Puerto Rico, and for some reason, The Matrix Reloaded opened a week later in Puerto Rico than the United States. So I had to tell everyone in the U.S., like, if it was good or bad, don't talk to me at all about that movie. Then I went in and watched it. I was like, oh, God.
Why didn't you tell me?
I came out and
Nobody wanted to talk about it.
I'm sure that everyone was biting their tongue, like wanting to tell me not to bother.
The Phantom Menace trailer, though, like with the Darth Vader, and then
Also, by the way, Phantom Menace trailer gave away a huge moment in the fucking film.
double lightsaber.
The double lightsabers. That was
That's
horrible.
not really a spoiler.
It
It was
absolutely
so
is.
cool
Can you
to
imagine
see
how
that.
much you would have lost your shit if you'd seen Darth Maul pull out a double lightsaber?
We're all going to go see the movie anyway. Save some of that shit
Did
for
he-
the cinema.
Right.
Did they both come out at once?
No, he does one, and then he turns it.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
that's
then the other
badass.
one comes out.
That's badass.
Clearly
That
a
should've been
reveal.
Yeah.
Clearly a reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like, man, nobody's excited about this movie.
All right, before we say goodbye to Eric, first of all, Eric, it's great to be finally working with you. I've known you for many years. Eric's been very influential over Rooster Teeth in ways that I don't think a lot of people realize. Eric is one of the hosts of the poker game where I met Jack and Daniel Fabello and other people. I would credit
I'm
you.
sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I have to apologize for Jack every time I see Burnie.
I would credit Eric also as being the reason why Elijah Wood was in Red versus Blue. He was the person who helped us work that out. So glad to finally be working with you, and I'm glad we can now sound somewhat intelligent. You can correct us, over here whenever we talk about movies.
Yeah, it's just Shane Black stuff. That's the only time that I'm right about
It's much easier to hear it from you than the angry anonymous comments that I'll read via social
Who
media.
have the internet on their side?
Well,
the
that's
entire
me
time.
too. I just left my phone over there.
Just look everything up. But before we go, what's the comic book movie that you guys want to see?
Like that's coming out.
No. That if the comic book character that you would love to see in a movie. or,
Green Lantern.
I'm
The
not
Mask.
I'm not a comic guy. I never read comics.
no way, really? Nothing at all.
Nothing. Missed
Okay.
them. Archie.
The comic series that got me into comic books was the Dark Phoenix saga for X-Men with the Hellfire Club and all that stuff. And they've done it, but they've never done it right. Bryan Singer's doing another stab, and I don't have much.
Same with the actress that plays Jean Grey.
Sophie Turner.
Famke Janssen.
What?
Famke?
What's her?
What?
Famke Janssen. Yeah. So she was in The Faculty.
Yes.
And then, wasn't that one of the first movies you reported on? Was that not? That's wrong.
I would argue it's Sophie Turner.
Yeah, I was there when I was like 16.
Yeah. And
or 17. Yeah.
Matt was working on that movie, and I remember she got cast as Jean Grey. And I
Yeah.
told Matt at the time, she's got one of the coolest characters ever because this arc that this character goes through is incredible. It's one of the seminal stories ever told in comic books, and then they just never did it. They never really tackled the.
Well, I mean,
three.
they did. They just fucked it up. Brett Ratner did
Brett
it next
Ratner,
three, and now Bryan Singer's doing it again. But the problem is there's no build up to it. It's like they just introduced her as kind of like a side character in the last X-Men movie.
Didn't they kind of do something where she got a little crazy evil on the Apocalypse thing? Like she tapped into some power?
Yeah, a little bit. But again, it just happens right away. I mean, that's you have to love Jean Grey first. Right,
True.
and then see her with the powers, and then there's got to be that slow process while the powers take her over. That's what makes Dark Phoenix. That's what makes Dark Phoenix interesting.
I'll be here all night.
Yeah, I would love to see them do that for real. I'd also love to see Kraven from Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Kraven
the Hunter.
Shit, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I want to see Moon Knight. I'll know we're at the barrel, like bottom of the barrel end of the Marvel Cinematic Universe when they have like Moon Knight or Cloak and Dagger.
Aren't they Cloak and Dagger? They're doing a TV series.
Yeah. Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
That's
Here
true.
we go. The 8th generation of these movies is going to be incredible. We have like Rom the Space Knight movies and things like that. It's going to be awesome.
Beta Ray Bill and
what's Beta Ray Bill? I heard he was featured in an Easter egg in Ragnarok.
You see it's in Thor Ragnarok. There's like the tower is made up of the heads of all of the Grand Masters champions.
Yeah,
and one of the heads is Beta Ray Bill.
You've also
totally
seen
that.
him in Guardians of the Galaxy. There was a horse head skeleton on a human's body.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like
That's
a
kinda
subtle.
creepy.
Yeah.
Did the Collector have that or something? I don't know.
No, he was on the planet that Star-Lord was like doing the dance thing on. He walked by a Beta Ray Bill guy. Scared. I don't know what
It was like right at the beginning of the movie. Then
I'm done, by the way, with Howard the Duck cameos, and the interest in Howard
They're
the Duck.
so funny.
I'm done.
So you're
I'm
waiting
done
for the full features.
No,
what you're saying.
no, it's already been made.
You want the trilogies?
now you got to get a reboot. That's when you know it's over. When you get a fucking Howard the Duck reboot with a practical suit, like no CG.
Barf.
As long as that means more duck boobs, then I think that'll be cool.
Oh, horrifying, horrifying. When you put that in my head. All right, Eric, good to see you, man.
Cool, thanks guys.
I'll steal that shirt from you later. Okay, bye-bye.
I want to read this other thing here. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Chic Podcast is also brought to you by MeUndies. MeUndies makes feel-good undies your butt will be proud to wear. They'll be the most comfortable pair of underwear you'll ever own. And to check it out yourself, go to MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. With tons of styles and patterns to choose from for both men and ladies, MeUndies will have the perfect fit for any personality. The MeUndies feeling is unmatched because they use a naturally soft fabric that is 3 times softer than cotton. For a limited time only, check out MeUndies' first ever glow-in-the-dark print, Lights Out. Why not update your underwear drawer and glow at the same time? To get 20% off the best and softest underwear you'll ever own, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. That's MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. They're seriously the best underwear you can get. Try them. Go get them. Rub yourself.
It's true.
Cover your whole body with them.
Does anyone think it's damn irresponsible that Heimdall fights with the Bifrost sword?
No. I like him.
What if he breaks it or chips it and then he can't use the damn thing?
Dude.
How's that thing going to work if it's broken?
I think it has like some sort of magic power protecting it. Sorry, where's
Idris Elba? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Anything he did in that movie would have been fantastic to me because on the plane home, I watched Dark Tower. Have you seen it?
Is it bad? I've heard it's bad.
It was rough, dude.
It's like a young adult movie.
But surely he's good in it. It's just bad.
Idris Elba's great in everything, right? Yeah, but it is hard watching someone be convincing in a totally unconvincing movie. That was a tough one for me.
Have you seen Luther?
Luther? I don't think I have.
It's a TV show.
Have you seen the King Arthur movie that's like cut by an MTV music video?
Guy Ritchie made it, right?
What was that?
It's a Guy Ritchie film. It came out earlier this year.
I was loaded. I said, it's a King Arthur movie that I haven't seen. I want to watch some knights fight and some Game of Thrones stuff. It's not that at all.
Is it good?
You don't remember? I guess you don't watch trailers. You don't remember the commercial or anything for it?
It was off-putting. I turned it off after like 15 minutes.
Man from U.N.C.L.'s great though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Anybody else?
It was
see
okay.
that?
It was
got
very
lost to me
stylized. Had a great style to it.
Dude, I love
Kingsman
Army
lost me.
Hammer and Henry Cavill, and I want Army Hammer to be Green Lantern. Hal Jordan, that'd be awesome.
Army Hammer?
Army Hammer's great.
Yeah, he is. He's fucking beautiful and tall and masculine. And
Go ahead.
I like him a lot. I have a man crush on him and Ryan Gosling.
Is that like who you aspire to make yourself
I'd
feel
fuck
like?
those guys. You know,
I'm not saying fuck. I'm just saying
Come around
like
and say it.
straight up.
like body aspirations.
Big payoff.
Yeah, but they're like also like a foot taller than me, so probably.
Would
not
you
body.
be railed by them or just rail them?
Up for negotiation? Honestly,
Really?
yeah. I mean, they're just good-looking, cool guys. I'd like to hang out with them. You know, just like
Play some PUBG.
blow each other and play PUBG. You know,
You want to watch them blow each other?
or they blow me. One of the two.
Got it.
I hope my parents don't watch this.
Oh, why would they? I mean, I hope nobody takes a clip of it and posts it on Twitter for them to see.
That'd be unfortunate if this was the social media clip for Rooster Teeth.
So, anybody watch that? Speaking of things that have been run into the ground, did anybody watch that stupid ass David Pumpkins animated special?
Oh no, you're a David Pumpkins fan.
No, I thought the skit was funny. I dressed up that year, but a year later they produced that stupid animated thing. They aired it like at 10:30 p.m. like a normal SNL time slot, and it was
bad,
awful. It was just bad, and I don't understand why they aired it that late. It was like there was nothing.
Was it Tom Hanks?
Yeah, it was Tom Hanks' voice. Like there was nothing. They should have just aired that in prime time. Like they could have shown that to kids. There's nothing weird about it.
How long was it?
30 minutes.
They did another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck me. They did a really funny Halloween skit where it was like a roller coaster ride. Did you see that one?
I don't remember. What was it?
It was the electronic or like the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I thought it wasn't like David Pumpkins quality.
Twitter wants to let us know the Dark Tower is based on a Stephen King book. So.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Thanks for letting us know. But the person went on to point out that those movies are always kind of hit or miss, which It's a great example of that. I know some people really like the original It with Tim Curry. As someone who grew up reading the book and I was older when that movie came out, I was so disappointed in It, the first one.
I like all the stuff with the kids.
The new stuff, the new one.
Sounded so creepy.
I know, right? Did you read the book?
No, I
you can't possibly be creepier than some of the stuff that happens in that book with the kids.
An orgy, right?
Yeah, that's not an orgy.
Did you say you liked Thor Ragnarok? You liked it?
I did. I enjoyed Thor.
I really liked the weird choice of the 80s synth soundtrack vibe they had going on.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Have you watched Hunt for Wilder People?
No.
He does that like throughout that movie, and it's fucking amazing.
It's a very fun movie. I'm gonna say something that happens very early in the movie. It doesn't spoil anything, but it does potentially like kind of spoil a joke, which is Thor happens across a play where it's the story of Loki essentially, and like Thor's like his buddy who's like, oh, you're the best and everything. And it's meant to be like shitty actors playing Thor and Loki, and Loki's really funny, and you recognize the actor who's playing Loki right away. Did you recognize who was playing Thor?
Yeah. I can't. Well, do we want to say it?
Yeah, sure, say it.
No, fuck you. You're not gonna pin this on me.
Oh, it's his brother.
Yeah.
It's his brother playing.
Not Liam. Luke
Hemsworth.
The one that's in Westworld.
Yeah.
Who
really, that to me was, I love to make that phone call going, hey, we need you to play a shitty Thor.
Did you see Odin? Who played Odin?
Yeah, I did. I actually didn't recognize him, and I went and looked up the cast from that play.
It wasn't until he took off the eye patch that I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's fun. The whole movie's fun, though, too. It's, I did think there was a character in there that could have been Beta Ray Bill, but wasn't. There's an alien character in it that's really fucking funny and great.
Yeah.
And I would highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies, I think.
I feel like the style of the text and the posters didn't match the movie. Like they went super neon multicolored for like the text that says Thor Ragnarok at the end and the posters all that way, but the movie's not really like that.
I think they probably veered away from that because of Guardians.
Suicide Squad? Oh.
I feel like Guardians did that a lot.
It was just weird.
Yeah, and I get the criticism some people have where it's in the vein of Guardians in the Galaxy, and people think they're trying to like glom onto the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, but Avengers movies don't need to do that. They're fine, on their own. I just think that somebody came in and had a vision for what he wanted to make this Thor movie to be, and he did. I also think, though, honestly, I think this movie is the one movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe where, like 10 years from now, they're going to say, that one's not canonical. That's just, ignore that movie. That's not real.
I found myself laughing.
Major things happen in this movie just flippantly. It was pretty crazy.
There's like 4 character deaths where it was like,
okay, sure.
Yeah.
I found myself laughing at just the most random, obscure moments. Like the character the director plays. Like a little piece of him. Yeah, a piece of rock falls off. He's like, oh, there's another one. Like, just little lines like that. I was cracking up.
Little throwaway stuff. I was laughing the entire time as well.
That character's so funny.
Yeah, but it's good. I liked it. Good movie.
I want to watch it again. I'll probably watch it on a plane.
Hey, do you want to go see it? Yeah, never mind. You go on a plane and do it.
How come you didn't see it, Gus? Do you not go see movies in opening?
I normally wait a week or two.
Why? To find out if it's good or to avoid crowds?
Just avoid crowd.
I'm worried that we've overhyped it, actually, now.
Maybe.
I went in with zero expectations. I never saw the trailer. I didn't know anything about it.
I literally leaned over to Alana and was like, low expectations for this one. And then I walked out and I was like, oh, it's great. Because the last 2 Thor movies, in my opinion, have sucked.
I went in with very specific expectations, and it hit them completely. I mean, I was. Don't watch the trailer if you haven't seen it already, because there was some really amazing stuff spoiled in it. And it's the one thing we said is very obvious because that character's on the posters and is a huge part of all the marketing for the movie as well. But there's other elements in that movie that are just they're big moments. The trailer covers some stuff that happens in like the third act. The trailer should stop at like the first or second act.
I didn't realize that this is the first movie where Mark Ruffalo voices the Hulk.
Oh, is that he doesn't normally do that?
No,
It was Lou Ferrigno before.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Up to this movie.
I think I probably knew that at some point but forgot it. That's really cool.
Yeah, but I wonder why you didn't do it this time.
More dialogue. Hulk's a bigger part of it, you know?
Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno's not the best actor.
And plus, also going back to what you said about them
It worked.
having holding back that Hulk was in the movie. Did you hear that thing about Mark Ruffalo accidentally live streamed the premiere of the movie?
The first like few minutes of it, yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I guess from his pocket. Or something?
Yeah, they took everyone's phones away at the premiere, but obviously he's in the movie, so they didn't take his. And the movie studio had asked him to do like an Instagram live stream promoting the premiere.
Fucking love this.
And he forgot to turn it off and just put the phone down. And he said that his phone was buzzing like crazy, but he didn't want to be the asshole who picks up his phone in the middle of the movie. People were like texting him like, turn your phone off. You're live streaming.
Oh, my God.
And I think it was like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
That's great.
Did he eventually realize, or did
Yeah,
his
eventually
agent,
the
delete his
stream
account or
just
something?
ends.
There hasn't been any real major slip-ups or leaks via that kind of social media stuff. Not that I can think of. I mean, obviously there's been some huge gaffes and things like that, and the internet has led to some incredible leaks of information.
The biggest leak right now is the Paradise stuff, right? All the tax avoidance or the tax dodging
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, that I haven't. I feel like that's still breaking as we're doing this. Like, there's still news coming out about that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Did you know that? Because Apple are involved in this now. Apple have $250 billion in cash.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of cash.
It's a lot of cash.
It's $250 billion in cash.
That's a lot of cash.
Like the amount that their money must vary day to day, just from the value of currency, must be insane.
Let me tell you, $250 billion but would be a very different show than $1 million but.
Actually, there was an article I read that listed the stuff you could buy for $250 billion. Like you could buy 2,200 F-35 fighter jets.
Jeez.
That's insane.
2,200?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Apple could start a fleet.
You get bulk discount.
Some country.
I think you get
Do you get bulk
2,500.
discount?
I think you get 2,500.
2,200, you get one for free.
How many are there? There's not 2,200 now, right?
It's
doubt
less
there's
than
that
that
many.
in the army, probably.
In the Army?
the Air
probably
Force.
not. Probably not.
Yeah, the Navy, I think, has the bulk of their aircraft.
I actually have no idea how many of those are in circulation.
I don't know either.
Okay, I'll look it up.
I'm going to say 12.
Aren't those the shitty ones that there's like a bunch of graveyards and a lot of them are inoperable because they
Go ahead.
fell into disrepair? Or there's like some sort of article about it was just like government waste, and there was like the main plane that's used in the Air Force is just like a piece of shit plane. Apparently,
There are 231 of them as of March of this year.
Really?
So you could own 10 times more than exist in the world.
If I worked at Apple, I'd just order 250, just so I could say I have more than the U.S. government.
They'd have a lot of cash left over.
what can they do? Some sort of like super secret bad at like Dr. Evil type thing, like make a spaceship and leave.
Don't you feel like it would be hard to make an impact at a company that size with that amount of money? Like, what do you do on your day-to-day basis that gets you super...
What's your job?
Donald Trump's-
It's my job to burn $1 million a day.
Yeah, that's what I do. I shovel it into the furnace.
Right.
And there's more money behind it all the time. It's like when Valve released that statement, that metric that they make in revenue the equivalent of $8 million per employee per year. And we were fascinated at the time because, of course, the next day everyone's like, I want to fucking raise if you're making $8 million per person at this company. But it's even that, I think that can be detrimental to your motivation and your drive. Big companies, especially public ones, there's always that push, and you can always bring in new people to help drive things forward. But I look at a company like Valve, and I can't help but wonder if the success of the company has hampered the future success of that company. Like their success as a platform with Steam, they haven't made a game in how long?
Well, they have that card game coming out.
Besides the card game. 8 years?
It's been a long... What was the last one?
Portal 2, right?
Did Dota come after Portal 2, or is Dota around?
I think Dota was around.
Left 4 Dead 2. No, Left 4 Dead 2 is over.
What was the last... That's what last
I just type Dota 2, and then I type Portal 2.
If a company gets too successful, if Apple had $10
Dota
trillion...
2 was the last one.
Okay, good
If
call.
Apple had $10 trillion in cash, would they eventually just be like, yeah,
Right,
just stop making shit?
right. What's the point?
The iPhone,
What's the end game?
The iPhone 20 is they send everybody $500. It's like, here you go.
Like, surely they're just forwarding Steve Jobs' vision into the future beyond his life. But eventually, Steve Jobs would have been happy with $10 trillion, right? So surely end it. Like, why continue?
But how do you stop? I mean, that's the thing with capitalism. How do you just go, and we win?
Because you've won. You've come first.
We're done.
Top of the podium.
What do? You lay off like 50,000 people?
I mean, keep paying them. There's enough cash. Just don't have them not do anything.
Damn,
Like, why would they? Surely, there's a point where you don't need to do anything.
Also, it's at that point too. They're a public company. They always want to do better. It's like, oh, the iPhone X, it's selling 1 million less than the iPhone 7. So that's a bad thing. It's going to hit our stock. I'm a guy at the company. I'm like, let's buy 2 million iPhone X's from ourselves. That's what I would do. I just put them on order. We can return them after the quarterly report.
Holy shit. Speaking of the iPhone 10, which you're calling the X.
I do call it the X. I do call it the X.
So I was deciding whether to get AppleCare. I'm a dropper. I'm caseless, as you know. I do the Gavin Free Challenge.
You fail the Gavin Free Challenge. Your whole life is the Gavin Free Challenge.
Every phone.
It's not going well.
AppleCare Plus or whatever, to get the quick replacement that's $100. That's $200. I'm saying a lot of numbers here. That not.
Yeah, you confused me.
You spend $200 getting AppleCare Plus, which means if you smash your phone, kick it into a lake or something, or you accidental damage, you get a new one for $100.
So that's $300.
You're right. So I was like, I was looking at the list of all the phones. It's less than that just to get a new one out of coverage. Not the iPhone 10, however, because accidental damage without AppleCare, guess how much it costs to get a new one?
How much?
$550.
But still, the difference between that and
Buying a new
getting the coverage for something that might not happen is that's what puts me off. Like at Best Buy,
Right.
I would buy the extended service plan on everything I purchase if it was a reasonable amount of money. But when the extended service plan is 20% of the cost of the item, I'm just thinking in 4 years there's going to be like 5 new versions of this thing that I'm buying at Best Buy. I'm not going to want to replace it with that, or it's it's just, and I probably won't remember that I had it. 20% is my definite cutoff for that. Probably I'd say over 15%. I wouldn't even consider getting any kind of extended plan.
This phone is so expensive. But it's normal now. Like,
but you use it every
exactly.
minute of your day.
I always say I'm happy to spend money where I'll get used to it. So like, I have a nice mattress and a nice TV and a nice phone.
That's
the main
good
thing.
strategy.
But I've just got to come to terms with the fact that now a phone potentially is like a 4-figure expenditure.
It's like a computer.
Yeah, but it is. I use it more than my computer.
Except that you can't play games as well as your computer.
Yet.
That's true.
No 4K gaming.
I just play everything on the Switch now. I love the Switch so much.
You went from PC Master Race to Switch?
I love Mario. I love him. He's a little bastard.
It's really good. I've been happy like playing Zelda.
Have you played Odyssey?
No. Going back and forth between handheld and the dock was great.
Yeah.
I've stopped playing Stardew. I had to break the news to Ashley earlier because Super Mario Odyssey.
What are you two going to talk about from now on?
We'll just go back to our normal lives where we don't talk to each other.
Don't have anything to say to each other.
I like games that reward you with nostalgia. Mm-hmm. There's a moment in. Have you played Mario Odyssey?
Yeah, I finished it.
So the Mushroom Kingdom. Mm-hmm. There's a moon you get by something that you would only look at if you played Mario 64.
Which one was that?
So at some point in Mario 64, after you got a certain amount of stars, a light shines down in Peach's castle onto the mat in the middle of the room, and you look up at it, and you go to the flying stage. So as soon as I got in Peach's castle, I was like, this is familiar. It's not the exact same, like there's not as many rooms. But just for the hell of it, I was like, I'm going to look up at the ceiling. And a moon came out of it when I looked at it in first person.
Or a star that they call moons for some reason.
A star that's called a moon. It's confusing. Cool. I just like that you're rewarded with that stuff. It's such a nice touch.
I love the Super Mario 64 skin you can get.
Oh, the suit that makes you go...
Do you like turn all blocky?
It makes you realize how shite Mario looked in Super Mario 64.
Yeah, it was great at the time.
Yeah.
But he looks way better.
Do they have the stretchy Mario face? I haven't played it yet.
No.
It's a bummer. It was my favorite.
I'm in that phase where I finished Breath of the Wild, and now I don't want to start another game. Although,
Stardew.
My current pick for Game of the Year so far.
PUBG.
Oh, man, I didn't think about that.
Wolfenstein.
One of my candidates, for sure. That came out the exact same time as Breath of the Wild, and I thought got kind of buried under all the Breath of the Wild hype. And I know a lot of people think Breath of the Wild is their Game of the Year so far.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn is about to come out with DLC. Right
Comes
now.
out Was it today?
Yes, I think it's today. Yeah, Monday. So we're recording this. And so I'm tempted to go and play that, but I probably won't.
God, fucking Horizon Zero Dawn's probably the best game I played this year.
It's great. PUBG's good, though.
Serious?
Yeah. I probably put more time into PUBG than any other game, but I think Horizon Zero Dawn. Because Horizon Zero Dawn actually has, like, a story.
An incredible story.
Right, and, like a weight to it. PUBG is just like, shoot, start over.
Is that what you do?
Right.
Why just run? How did I die? Yeah. Start over again. That's exactly how every PUBG
The
match goes for
close
me.
quarters combat in that game is not good.
I'm really glad, though, that they reset all the stats.
How's vaulting?
Way better than
It's not in yet.
They made an update just recently, and they were very specific to say on Twitter that it was not the vaulting update.
What does that let you do?
They wanted to have it.
Jump
Go out
through windows?
Yeah.
They wanted to have it on the test server by now, but they were having trouble making it stable, so they said they've delayed introducing vaulting to the public test server.
Still curious if that's a new button command or if that's just you walk up to it and you press space and it just does it for you.
Yeah, when your guy accidentally jumps out a window. That's going to be fun when you actually trigger that all the time. I did a thing where I was playing Rainbow Six the other day. and I was
Good game.
Playing the character where you drop the armor for everybody when you're a defender.
Rook.
Yeah. And then I was looking at the armor, and I went to go put it on with F, but I didn't hit F. I hit G, and it dropped a little grenade right into the case. And I was like, uh-oh. everybody in the team was gathered up around
God.
it. So it hurt us all, and it took away all the armor. Destroyed it.
There are some games where one button does a lot.
Yes.
And I remember it might have been Splinter Cell Conviction did that, where I was running from enemies. I opened a door, and I was trying to close the door behind me. I ended up switching to a weapon I didn't want that was on the floor. Then I jumped up into a pipe and was like hugging the pipe. I was like, didn't want to do that. Jumped down, spun around, dived out the window. I was just trying to close the door.
Right.
Can you imagine in real life if you accidentally did all that stuff? It would be insanity.
I'm just trying to close the door.
Yeah.
I always think about that with Assassin's Creed when I'm trying to go in a door, and instead I run up the building. It's like that's not something you would accidentally do.
There's got to be a video, like a sketch to be made where the same button functions have really absurd different tasks, but in real life.
I have to say, I did watch a trailer recently for a franchise that I'm a huge fan of, even though there's only one installment of the franchise thus far.
Call of Duty.
I watched The Last of Us 2 trailer. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I love Last of Us.
You think it's too violent?
Yeah, and I didn't respond to it at all. I was really. I mean, it looks great. It's incredible. We reached that point where, at least for me, we're beyond the uncanny valley. That things can be produced that it looks close enough to photorealistic. And I'm sure when I look back at it 10 years from now, I'll be like, that's fucking garbage.
Yeah, but next to a real human, it's still way in the uncanny valley.
I don't know. Like, I think Rogue One was like right coming up.
Yeah, it was.
But some people, I'm
deep
saying
down
for me, like the Grand Moff Tarkin stuff was rough, but it was almost passable for me. I could feel like if they had another year of technology.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, I felt like it
They were
could have been
close.
there.
Oh, man.
I liked it. I wasn't as off put by that trailer.
The Last of Us 2 trailer.
The Last of Us 2 trailer. I thought it was good, but I can see why people were upset about it.
I think it's because you don't have the emotional connection with those characters because you don't know who they are, but I'm pretty sure that's probably Ellie's mom, right?
Yeah, I thought it might be a prequel. There's some theories about that it was.
Is it going to have multiplayer?
I'm sure.
Last of Gus.
Let's do it.
I'm so mad about you guys for that because we were all playing Last of Us multiplayer,
Yeah.
and then you guys just cut me out. Yeah, we did like what we did to Blaine.
Look, it was 2014. It was a long time ago. We asked you if you wanted to be in that Let's Play.
No, it's not true.
We only called it Last of Gus because you didn't go. And
Wait,
Gus
was I asked? Show
What?
me.
I'm the fucking substitute?
Show me.
We asked you both.
What? No, I was never asked to be in it ever. We can go back and listen to podcasts from that point in time.
Why? You probably just weren't in the building. That was back when we could look around the building.
How did you ask me if I wasn't in the building, Gavin? What'd you do? Talk to an empty room? Is there a text?
I assume.
Is there a written record of this?
That was when the office was small enough where you could just walk around and find someone. You didn't have to be like, "Are you at the office?"
I've literally never been in a Let's Play. Not one. I would specifically remember.
You should have come to work that day.
You were probably not there. You were probably off somewhere.
Then how did you ask me? And I said
I
no.
probably went to ask you. You weren't there, and then I didn't.
That's a
because you
totally
weren't
different thing
there.
than what you said. Go ahead. British.
Look, we intended
British.
to have a video version of the stuff we were doing outside of videos.
What? You have a video that's a different video than a video?
We were trying to make a video.
Go ahead.
With the same people who played it outside of videos. All of us.
Right.
But you weren't there, is what I'm saying.
Now you're saying I wasn't there. That's different than saying you asked me to be
Why
in it.
would we all be playing and then we only asked Gus to be in it?
I don't know. An agenda. of some kind.
Conspiracy theories.
You've been in Let's Play. What are you talking about?
I haven't been.
You've not been in Let's Play with Achievement Hunter.
I was in what I consider to be, I know this is a point of contention, what I consider to be the first Let's Play was the Left 4 Dead one. I know you think that your Watchmen video was the first Let's Play?
No, the first Let's Play was ODST.
ODST?
You were in that.
No, because
Gus was in that.
The Left 4 Dead survival guide was before that.
No.
Yes!
Was it?
Yeah.
That was the achievement guide.
Well, yeah. But, okay. That's fair. Weren't we trying to get like a bronze medal in ODST?
I don't know why you don't like my Watchmen reason if you give an achievement guide, because the achievement guide was Watchmen.
But we weren't trying to get the achievement. At no point did it show you how to get the achievement. It was us being shitty.
I'm thinking of Man vs. Tank.
Yeah, you're thinking of Man vs. Tank. That was just a super popular achievement guide from season 1 of Achievement Hunter.
We don't have to fight over the first Let's Play.
No, I don't want to either, because it's like Michael will show up here and then they'll be yelling and everything.
Well, that was way after.
See, there you go. There you go. But yes, I have been in horse. I was in a horse tournament that I won, and I think that's it. So if you consider that to be Let's Play,
Everyone else took their ball and went home.
I've never been in a Let's Play.
So we're not counting.
So I remember if I've
No.
been asked to be in a Let's Play, I would have remembered that specifically.
You want to be a Let's Play?
I don't have time. I'm busy.
Well, he's
Gavin,
never
I would
here.
love to. I would love to do that. Absolutely. What do you want to do? Want to play fucking Cuphead? Have you played Cuphead for Play Pals yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Michael, he was more angry than some episodes of Rage Quit.
Yeah, it's infuriating because it's a terrible game.
It's such a good game.
We need to stop talking about it so it's entertainment. It's torture.
No, it's a good game. A lot of good games this year.
Nope. There are. None of them are Cuphead.
I want to also remind everyone that everyone should check out the Rooster Teeth store at store.roosterteeth.com. We have new merch every week: hoodies, t-shirts, collectible socks.
Is it another Jeff or Barbara shirt?
If you're looking for gifts for the holiday season, check it out. And if you're watching on a live stream right now because you're a first member, you get 5% off at checkout. So if you're not a first member, you're literally not getting savings. You should be a first member. Save money. Go to store.roosterteeth.com. Buy some shit.
Pre-order that fucking Burnie hat.
Is that out yet?
No.
Is it coming out?
They just are surprised to find out now that I don't like it. They're just figuring this out.
Well, now people are going to buy it because they know you don't like it.
I know.
And they're going to say they told you so.
I'll set an extra life goal to just burn them all. It's like, if we raise $5, I will burn all these hats.
That's what you could do if you had all that Apple money. You could buy all of them and burn them.
I got Rooster Teeth hat money. I can do that. I can buy our stock out for that. I don't want to reward bad behavior, though.
Are you saying that the fact that someone made you a hat is bad behavior?
It's that hat, yeah. Specifically making
Who
that
made it?
hat. Reisinger.
What does it look like?
He's super defensive about it, too.
Why?
seen this yet.
You just
If anyone wants to run and grab the hat out of my office so Blaine can see it, you can
Have you not seen it?
No.
see the hat.
Is it?
So this is to combat, like Jeff has a clothing line,
Yeah.
nice style.
Yeah, it might be on the table beside Ellie's desk.
Barbara has one, and this was
Yeah.
be like a part of like this is like a Burnie thing.
Right. That they were going to buy. Which, if you were going to design that, what would you make? You probably would make like a polo shirt or something that's more in my style. And I do wear baseball caps, but I tend to wear Rooster Teeth baseball caps. This thing was just, it didn't.
A Burnie cap would be a Rooster Teeth cap.
It would be, which I understand like that part of it fitting in. But when you see the design of this thing,
Did you tell Reisinger you didn't like it then?
Like, look, are you wearing a Jeff shirt? What is that?
This is a Meg shirt.
Oh, it's a make shirt. Sorry. Like the thought and the effort that goes into the design of Barb's and Jeff's stuff was like, oh, this is really cool. They said, we're going to make a hat. I said, great. And then they gave me this hat, which I guess is not showing up.
Edward's still looking for it.
Oh, we're still looking for it? Anyway, we'll show it later.
What would they do for a Blaine line? That's not going to happen.
Oh, you could do
Tank tops.
Shirts
exercise
that are way
gear.
too small.
Yeah, let's do that.
It'd be a shirt that just says fatty on it. I can't even make those jokes. So I'm worried that you're
Or
right.
not just a shirt that says "I'd fuck Army Hammer."
That's true.
But who wouldn't? You don't need to make the shirt because everybody knows it.
I think someone's running to get that hat.
It would be a popular shirt. I'm waiting to see if he comes back because
How long are we
going
gonna
to
give
this
it?
podcast?
Edward, how long? Where is it?
ETA?
Not coming.
No, he said no.
Nope. I'll
All
go
right.
get it for the post show.
ETA was
Thanks for
no.
I'll
watching,
find it in
everybody.
2 seconds.
Blaine reacts. The hats.
Don't forget, CCTV is back, and they're going to be following the Rooster Teeth podcast right now. So if you're watching for the Cock Block and I'm a first member, stick around for CCTV.
Extra life.
Extra Life this weekend, and we'll see you guys.
It's going to be
next week.
chaos.
Bye.